Alright, Will here with IntoMobile. Today we're taking a look at none other than the Motorola Droid, the first Android phone for Verizon Wireless. Verizon's actually going ahead and they're going to be calling their entire Android lineup, they're going to be branding it with the Droid brand, which is cool. But for now, we'll just be calling this guy the Droid, kind of the cooler, hipper, more badass brother to the happy-go-lucky little green Android robot. Packaging. Alright, the packaging is pretty minimal. Like minimal design, very small, no extraneous packaging, which is cool, very green. But you open it up, it's got that little lip here, which is actually reminiscent of that little lip on this guy. And ta-da, we have the Motorola Droid. All black, matte finish on the back, rubberized touch, cool little shiny accent there. It's got a lot of angles, highly faceted, very kind of high-tech industrial design. Now, let's turn it on. And the design kind of reminds me of Motorola's glory days when they had the really angular Razr, the innovative Razr design kind of reigning supreme in the mobile phone world. Those days are long past, but long gone, but this guy may just be able to bring Motorola back to even just a portion, even just a fraction of what they once were. That would be great. We got the famous Droid Red Eye, kind of showing you that this is the badass Android, not the little cartoon Android. This is Droid, and if you've been seeing Verizon's Motorola Droid commercials, there you go. You are very familiar with that sound. That is Droid. Okay, so we're all started up there. Before we dive in to the UI and the software, which actually in this case happens to be the brand new Android, okay, it's going to keep doing that, the Android 2.0 OS, codenamed Eclair. It's got a whole bunch of new features, very cool, but let's take a look at the hardware first. So, we've got the 3.7-inch capacitive touchscreen. Very cool, very big, very high resolution. I like that. It's got the flush-mounted, touch-sensitive backlit keys, right? Navigation keys. They don't click. You just tap them. And unlocking the screen. Just tap them. And you get a little vibration or haptic feedback. Very cool. Some people may like it, some people may not. I like it. So there. And okay, so the rest of the phone, we got the micro USB, the now standard micro USB port for charging, as well as data transfer. We've got the 3.5 megapixel 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and right next to the power button there. Cool, so you can use whatever headphones you want, all your favorite headphones. You got the volume control rocker button. You've got the dedicated gold accented shutter release, the shutter button for the camera. Of course, this ledge right here, there's the hole for the microphone. This little outcropping here looks a little strange, right? It does work in the overall design. But if you're wondering what good does it do, all you have to do is slide it up and hold it with your right hand, well, mostly for right-handers, and you'll get to get an idea for why Motorola did that. The ledge actually gives you something to actually leverage the phone into your hand with, so you're not struggling to hold on to it right next to, with your hand cramped up right next to the keyboard. You actually have a solid grip with your left hand kind of as a complement in your typing rather than actually having to hold the device. That feels a little weird. That feels pretty comfortable because of the ledge right there. So we got the slide-out QWERTY keyboard, and of course the 5 megapixel autofocus camera. That's cool in and of itself, but even cooler is, let's count them here, the yellow dots, 1, 2. 2 LED flashes. 5 megapixel autofocus camera with dual LED flash. That is cool. And of course, GPS. There is Wi-Fi. We have a 3G data connection, is what it uses. EVD or Vision A. And lastly, sliding this down reveals the battery and the included 16 gigabyte micro SD card. in the micro SD card slot, obviously. Unfortunately, cool little touch there, Motorola engineering, I like that. Unfortunately, the micro SD card is not hot swappable, which means you have to remove the battery, which means you will lose power whenever you want to swap out the micro SD card. Can be a hassle, but that's something I think a lot of people will be willing to deal with. I'm certainly not going to complain too much. Shiny, glossy finish on the bezel there. That's cool. Now, okay, so that's a quick look at the hardware. Actually, one last thing. It's a very slim device. Comparing it to an Apple iPhone 3GS here, which is itself a very slim handset, you'll see they're pretty much similar in thickness, which is crazy, right? Because there is no QWERTY keyboard on this. There's no slider. This guy has a full QWERTY keyboard, and they're about the same thickness. They're about the same width, and they feel very similar in the hand. Some people say this is already too big. I say it's fine. I say it's perfect. I say this, arguably, even better, because 3.5-inch screen, 3.7-inch screen, way higher resolution than this guy. The Droid is way higher resolution than the iPhone. Okay, so, cool hardware, sure. Let's see. Let's take some of that hardware for a little bit of a spin. Holding down the shutter button up here brings up the camera. And like I said, oh, there we go. We got the dual LED flash going on. Looks like it's gonna be a little overexposed. Yeah, it is, because this is our very, very bad photo conditions that I'm taking right now, but you get the idea. So pretty quick shot time. There's a little bit of shutter lag, but it's gonna be a little while before we get rid of all shutter lag altogether. That's the toggle for video mode, and it's gonna be shooting near HD, DVD quality video in 24 frames per second. So pretty smooth, very crisp video. Let's stop it. Let's actually take a look at the video. We'll play. And you can see it's pretty smooth. You'll hear my voice there, but pretty smooth video for 24 frames per second. That's not bad at all. And a cool feature here, you can share it not just to Bluetooth, email, Gmail, messaging, YouTube. All very cool. Now, were these photos you could actually share with Facebook, as well as Gmail, messaging, and Picasa. So it's all linked in with all your social networks, which is really, really cool. You could set it as your home screen and whatnot. So okay, that's a quick little look there. Now, going back to the home screen, well, let's take a look at some of the Android 2.0 features that the Motorola Droid, which is the first phone to rock Android 2.0 OS. Let's take a look at the browser here. And cool, very cool browser. It is WebKit based, so it's very fast, very cool, very good, but now, even better. Taking a look at bookmarks, you have thumbnail bookmarks. Awesome. They're not all populated yet because I haven't had a chance to visit them, but they do come up as thumbnails, which is a really cool way of navigating your thumbnails. It's a small improvement, but I think a very significant improvement.